or if someone was an IV drug user, then they deserve what they get, or if that person was participating in risky behavior such as homosexual or gay person. No, that's not true. You know, the fact of the matter is no one deserves this. You know what I'm saying? And again, education is the key, since there is no cure. You know, Streetworks is involved, is partnering with Vanderbilt as we speak, and the National Institutes of Health through a agency called Ogilvy up in D.C. to do vaccine awareness, and we can talk a little bit more about that later. But you know, there's no cure, there's no vaccine as of right now. There's no vaccine, and the thing is, we just cannot get our community involved. It's like the stigma, that's attached to HIV is horrendous. You know.
Now you mentioned the fact that it's difficult to get African Americans involved in recognizing the issue, but now you also, I think, indicated that there's a great discrepancy between African Americans who have this disease and non-African Americans. Speak to that issue.
Okay. Right now, we know that 1 in 50 African American men are infected with HIV. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about that. We also know that 1 in 160 African American women are infected with HIV. We know that African American women or women of color are 20 times more likely to get HIV than white women. We know that African American men are 8 times more likely to get HIV. Eight times more likely than white men. Now, it's not because they're African Americans. It's not who you are. It's what you do gets you HIV infection. And let me say it one more time. It's not who you are, but what you do. That's what gets you HIV infection. A white guy's risk is no higher than mine. It's that what I do as opposed to what he do is what gets you understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's the issue.
So now we did a show quite recently dealing with childhood obesity, and it all boiled down to individual responsibilities and individual decisions and et cetera. While that might not have been it's not entirely an individual decision because there are environmental factors and et cetera. But what you're saying here in reference to this disease is that the same thing is true, that it's individual. If an individual does not wish to contract this disease, then he does not do the 3 or 4 things that you mentioned.
Absolutely. It's all in behavior modification. You're going to have to change your behavior. Those behaviors which put you at risk for HIV infection, whatever those behaviors may be. Whether it be unprotected sex, multiple sex partners, sharing needles, whatever they may be. That's what it's all about.
So it's really, again, as we make preparations for this second commercial break, it is still a behavioral kind of thing, and an individual can make a decision himself. Okay, and of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. The topic is HIV.